To Twickenham for another slice of rugby history. Yes, it's a chilly one, but we are ready to go. Here comes South Africa. They're led out by their captain, Cindy Bowie. They've been on tour here in Europe since the start of November, playing the likes of France and Wales, as they, of course, build towards the World Cup in New Zealand next year. Half of the team did manage to arrive in plenty of time, but the other half, they did struggle a little bit, so they have had just about enough time to warm up, and they're just lining up now for the anthems. Well, this is, of course, only the 5th time that the women's Barbars have actually played a fixture. It is the first time they've actually hosted a game. The last time that we got to see them in action was back in November 2019. That was at the Principality Stadium. A big win for them against a Wales 15. So South Africa lined up and ready to go. Wonderful to see so many staying here at Twickenham. They want to watch their rugby today. Here come the Barbarians women. You've heard them whooping, you've heard them hollering. There's been plenty of dancing this week. And they're out onto the Twickenham pitch, led out by England's scrum half and Gloucester Hartbury skipper Natasha Hunt. You'll hear her also referred to as Mo, and a real moment and honour for the 55 times capped Red Rose. So many smiles there from the Barbars.
Racism is not acceptable in rugby.
Both sides and the crowd will now make their stand against racism in any form. There is no place for it in rugby, in sport or anywhere.
Thank you for your support to make it clear rugby really is for everybody.
Well, we'll now have the anthems, starting with the national anthem of South Africa.
Please be upstanding for the national anthem of South Africa.
The Barbarians will now stand for God Save the Queen to respect the home country where they are playing. Well, there really is a wonderful crowd here. Happy to be watching rugby at Twickenham this afternoon. Let's take a look then at this Barbarians women's side, named by the head coach, Joe Yapp. In the forwards, we get to see the outgoing Ireland skipper, Ciara Griffin. She pulls on her international boots for the last time. She's been named vice-captain today. Meanwhile, fresh from her 50th cap for Canada, Laura Russell is there at hooker. In the backs, the Ireland duo of Sene Naupu and Jenny Murphy make up a formidable centre partnership. And while England's Natasha Hunt captains wearing 9, her fellow 2014 World Cup winner Katie Daley-McLean is outside her at 10, and this will be her last ever game of rugby. Moving on to South Africa, they're forced into 6 changes from the side that lost to Wales 2 weeks ago. Coach Stanley Rubenheimer brings in the Blue Bulls' Katha Jacobs into the back row, while Mickey Hunter and Asantile Noyanto are brought into the front row. In the backs, the up-and-coming 21-year-old Unum Tose from Border Ladies wears 9. Keep an eye on the boot of Yaki Sillers wearing 13. She learnt her kicking trade from her neighbour back home in South Africa, just the 2-time Men's World Cup winner, Francois Steyn. Well, there is Natasha Hunt. She really has been the heartbeat of this Barbarian side in the build-up to this game. As we mentioned in the build-up, of course, she's very keen to get back into an England shirt, but there is 2014 World Cup winner and the England captain on the day that they lifted the trophy. Katie Daley-McLean will get us underway. Our referee is Clara Munarini of Italy. Twickenham is ready, the Barbarians women are ready, and the Springbok women get ready to receive the ball out on the far side of the field. Huge hits going in there.
Play on.
Big counter at the Barbarians, here to play early doors at Twickenham.
Use it!
There's Jordan, who clears the ball down the field for South Africa. There'll be a lot of pressure on her today as one of the more experienced players in this South Africa squad.
Roll.
And Natasha Hunt goes quickly. This is what she does. Popped off ball straight away to the USA's Hope Rogers. Did well to control that.
Backwards.
Well, you wanted Barbars rugby, that's what you're getting.
Use it!
Russell, Pete, Murphy.
No hands! No hands! Rock form!
Hunt deciding on this occasion not to go quickly, and time for us to say good afternoon to Emily Scarrett and first of all, Brian Moore.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, you can see Katie Daley-McLean there, and one of the things with Barbarian sides is you want some sort of continuity because they're a scratch side and they've only had a certain amount of preparation, but when you've got half-backs that have played together so many times for England, then that's a real positive for them.
Well, the Barbarians women have actually only had 4 sessions out on the pitch this week, so it'll be interesting to see what they can pull together from these set pieces. Taken on straight away by Anna Capeless. Ireland women has 10 caps in the green jersey, but here's an opportunity for South Africa to get rid of all of that pressure.
Unfortunate there for the Barbarians. It was set up It was there, just couldn't get enough players there in to the breakdown to win the ball, and that's another thing. When you play in national sides, everyone knows where they're going.
There was Anna Capeless there, just getting out of the way of this line out. Hunter gets it in.
Play on.
Happy that to play on. Tose with the distribution. And they decide to go right down the middle there through Dunke.
No hands!
Plays rugby for Border Ladies back in South Africa. Border Ladies, the winners of the recent Women's Premier Division title.
Taking back. Stop!
Running across the field, here comes Maya Taratoga of the USA. Popped up, Capeless is everywhere at the moment. Hunt. Murphy with the little bit of a grubber through. Mabenge having to try and deal with it. Tose. Daley-McLean. Oh, if this is the last time she puts these boots on, enjoy it. Pete. Capeless can't take. And South Africa try and snaffle that one.
Oh, it's breathless, isn't it? Katie Daley-McLean, like you said, her last outing on the turf, and what an occasion this is for her. She'll be shown and going all day long whenever she's got the option to. She's such a fantastic footballer. Any little bit of space, any manipulation of space that she can find, she'll definitely be taking it. Great couple of touches of her, great couple of touches for Hope Rogers as well. She's been really, really strong.
Katie Daley-McLean, no doubt, has a very proud family watching on at home. Her daughter, still a real youngster, but no doubt very proud of everything her mum has achieved. Collected at the base then for the South Africans. Tose. Sillers. Happy and waiting. Here comes Matia Toga again. Hunt wants the ball. Eventually she gets it, and we get to see the Frenchwoman Courson. Now 32 years old, as this is a Daley-McLean special crossfield kick, but read well by South Africa. They'll know, they'll watch enough rugby that is exactly what the fly half does. Namba there did really well to bring that back. That's a complete misread. And this is huge pressure now piling down on the South Africans, who've had to take that over their own line.
Shame for South Africa, because they recovered very, very well there. And the danger, until that bad pass, had actually gone away. Superb bit of work here.
I don't think Jordan will be particularly appreciative of that ball that she got in her dead ball area there, but fantastic kick by Katie. That's what she'll be looking to do. She probably won't be looking for those big wipering kicks we've seen all career, but it'll be those little intricate ones for her wingers to run onto.
Oh, that Barbar scrum is moving. Pressure on Capeless to secure. They've got the advantage as well. There's another bomb there from Katie Daley-McLean, taken cleanly in the corner, and it's going to be Levy that touches down, and the Barbars are on the scoreboard. Only 6.5 minutes played, and it's the USA, Sarah Levy, the California woman, who gets them off the mark.
Oh, it's on an absolute string for Katie Daley-McLean, isn't it? What a fantastic touch from her. Great take as well, completely unopposed, but you've still got to take it under that pressure. Fantastic kick from Katie Daley-McLean. She's set her intention, moved away really well by Natasha Hunt. So much space out there, and Levy doesn't even have to move, does she? It's straight into the breadbasket.
So also give credit to the referee there. She could have easily blown up for a penalty, waited until they'd had the opportunity, and of course they converted that, so credit to her there.
She's had the Barbars memo, hasn't she?
Worth mentioning that Sarah Levy's grandfather actually captained the Barbars against the Springboks men again back in 1939. Whoa, what a kick there. Oh, she's going to go out in style.
I'll tell you what would be nice for some of the Barbarians. We've seen over the last few weeks England hammering the USA and Canada, and we know that Canada and the USA have got good players, and those players are in this side, and now they're competing on a better, more equal footing, and they're really enjoying that.
Yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity for people who would never play together to play together. And like you say, some people have had tough autumns, and this is a brilliant way to bow out.
Jordan then gets us back underway. Vice-captain for the Springbok women this afternoon. Oh, little bit of a miscommunication and chaos there. So this will be the first time we really get to see the South Africans get a bit of decent platform ball inside of the Barbarians' half.
We certainly need to do better than the last two scrums. They've been under pressure. Very important that they get the ball away quickly, because they are under that pressure.
This is the fourth match on tour for the South African women. There is the coaching staff. Stanley Rubenheimer there watching on, and Solonsi has to really pick up that ball from around her ankles going backwards. Not easy. Warnings against the Barbars there. A little too excited as Tose goes. Jordan has to go in and play scrum half. A little bit of a show there by Dunker. Again, there's no fly half back there, so Tose just looking up at her options on either side. It's going to be the captain, Bowie. Looking for work, there comes Webb. Plays her rugby for the Bolon Dams. Latcher doesn't fancy going herself. Oh, we all felt that one. We heard it too. Wonderful run round the corner there as Sillers can't find any space in that defensive line. Tose back towards the near side. Namba. Oh, wonderful handoff. Just beginning to build up a bit of a head of steam, the South Africans. Latcher. Big things expected of the Western Province prop. 27 years old. She's got 11 caps. There we go. Solonsi's arrived. She's here at Twickenham.
Use it.
Barbars have got themselves out of a tricky spot there as the Canadian Russell taking it forward. Course on now, Washington.
Stay on.
Hunt puts up the box kick. Read really nicely, I have to say, by Namba. There's Jordan back inside to Webb. It'd be a real fillip if the South Africans can do something with this, but not to be. Give away the penalty and the Barbars get a chance to breathe.
She's gone. Natasha Hunt's gone. She will be doing that all day. She does it in the normal league. She does it when she's obviously played for England as well, so she's definitely going to be doing it for this Barbarian side. Always looking, every time there's a penalty or free kick, she'll be looking to get her hands on that ball and go.
Well, that was Ireland's Ciara Griffin just having a word there with our referee, Clara Minery.
Well, the problem with the South Africans are in the moment, they've got to get the balance right between getting enough players in to win the ball and win it quickly without committing too many players. Do it one way or the other and you get it wrong, and then you don't have enough players to carry the ball, or the ball gets slow and then it's unusable.
Strong line out throwing there by Canada's Laura Russell, and this is A nice rolling maul too. Crowd like it. Hunt manages to find Murphy. Still going there through Sene Noopu. She took a clattering. Realigned once again.
Clear advantage, number 5. 5. You're good, you're good.
Hunt thought about going then, just stopped herself.
She must be tired already.
I doubt it. She's not long back from the Tokyo Olympics, of course, and she was talking about the transition from 7s to 15s. The fitness is very different, but she still has got it.
Oh, she definitely has. She's a good friend of mine, so I can say that. But yeah, she'll be looking to go every single time. Love the look of this.
Oh, here's a bar special for you. It's a quarterback. It's NFL. No, it's the bars. I tell you what, Namba doesn't like it. Hunt. I wonder how many other tricks like that we're going to see from the Barbars women this afternoon. Hunt to Washington. Great run through by Paquin. Canadian flanker who's been there and pretty much done everything there is to do in rugby union. Pete. Daley-McLean out to the far side. Mattia Toga.
Back.
Little snipe round the side, popped off ball, Katie Daley-McLean, and she finished it off, try given. It's a day that just gets more special. Katie Daley-McLean, she got 116 caps in an England shirt, enjoying her afternoon.
Right, I think they need to sub her off now. She's got a try, she's got a conversion, she's made a break. That should be her afternoon then. No, oh, look, it's brilliant to see Katie out there enjoying herself. You saw the support that she got from the rest of that team. A lot of people that she's, you know, won't have come across a huge amount, out on the wing, still got the feet, still got the acceleration. Fantastic finish in the end. Again, all comes from Natasha Hunt, just spotting that little potential 2v1 down the blind side. Katie McLean, fantastic finish from her on what's hopefully going to be a fantastic afternoon.
Well, it was a 2v1, but she still had quite a lot to do when she stepped inside and managed to do it. And for those of you who haven't watched a lot of women's rugby, if you doubted the physical commitment that's on display here, you can't do that anymore because the hits are really going in.
Did notice that Katie Daley-McLean, she wasn't keen on scoring that out wide because she knew she had to try and turn this one in from the conversion. Oh, just short. 1 from 2 so far this afternoon. How much do you think she'll be focusing on her kicking this afternoon? Do you think she'll care, Emily Scarrett?
Oh, she'll always care. She's, you know, a professional right to the end. This is the Barbars move that hopefully we'll see a few more of those. That's probably why Natasha Hunt didn't go quickly, wasn't it? Because she wanted to pull some of those tricks out the bag. But yeah, look, Katie is an incredibly proud individual. She's worked incredibly hard over the years, and she'll want to go out, you know, really showcasing what she's able to do.
And Brian, the Barbarians, they are all about fun. And when we see little moves like that, that's what it's about.
Well, this is what you don't see in professional rugby or the high, you know, because it's seen as too serious. So obviously, things like that just bring an extra element to this. And the important thing for the Barbarians is, with the lack of preparation time, they may as well go out and give it a blast. Because if they try to play in a conventional way, with the conventional number of set moves, it just won't work.
A lot of pressure, but South Africa just beginning to stand up to that. Oh, she wants it, she's got it. Natasha Hunt is off. The 32-year-old, can she get the whole way? Just 5 meters short. She's got support, they want it quickly, passed out wide. Courson! Hunt snatched it. The Frenchwoman Courson finished it. They suck up a bit of oxygen. And the Barbarians are looking absolutely on tip-top form at Twickenham.
Oh, she was hustling the whole time, Natasha Hunt, wasn't she? Straight from that scrum, pressure on the 9, pressure on the 10. Ball bobbled to her, look at here, getting off the line, not giving anybody an easy ride, and then she's off to the races. Is it Sillers? I think does a fantastic job of tracking her down, brilliant tackle. Mo stays patient. It's a great effort from Namba to try and turn that ball over, and then right on top of it, Corson, very adept at playing 7s as well as 15, so she'll always be right up with play. Brilliant finish.
Going to be a long afternoon for South Africans if they can't steady this scrum, because that's the 3rd one in a row when they've been under pressure. Not just a case of getting the ball away, but then it brings pressure out wide because the defensive back line has time to come up, then the passes go wrong, which is exactly what happened there.
I hope Katie Daley-McLean is starting to get to know that far side of the pitch quite well. That one's good, 2 from 3.
She's still got it, isn't she? She's still got it. I spoke to her the other day and I said, oh, will you be goal kicking? She was like, I'm not sure, I've not really practiced in a while. But I think she would have been. She'll have been out on the field. Awesome display from her so far.
There's Lene Corson, plays her rugby at Stade Francais. Now 32 years old, no doubt very keen to make sure she goes to that World Cup in New Zealand next year with France. Daley-McLean.
Forward.
Now this is a chance for South Africa to get another little platform here. We should mention South Africa's women, they're currently ranked 13 in the world. They've got 19 women who've only just been given pro contracts. They're really starting to build. And you can tell with flashes at the moment, Brian, that South Africa, they really do have something special building, but it's not quite a whole package just yet.
No, and of course the influence and the time given by pro contracts will take at least a year to come through, but hopefully that will be enough for them to mount a much better challenge when they get to the World Cup.
Tose gets good support in there from Jacobs.
Tackle, move!
Tose looks up. Jordan was there for the distribution to Nyanto. Lost ball. It's Namba who's having to go back and deal with this little bit of a problem. Straight into Daley-McLean though.
Offside in front.
Bit unlucky there. I thought, was it a charge down or not? Certainly inadvertent, wasn't it?
I was going to say the charge down. I'm not sure Katie Daley-McLean was expecting it, so it's the wonderful 10-metre rule in rugby union comes into play.
I think it wasn't, because she never tried to, but it was just a case. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's the referee just confirming that she didn't actually try to charge it down. Therefore, it is not a charge down.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I'm not sure Rona Lloyd can do much different about that, because it falls into her hand. But
just not quite brilliant execution there from South Africa. Means that they end up losing the ball. This is their 4th game on tour. They did have a good run out last weekend. They played the England under-20s where they beat them 38 points to 5. And that was a real a bonus match for them. It was organised by one of the England coaches, Amy Turner, who's on the main coaching staff and also on the under-20s coach, and it just really gave them that little bit of a platform to build.
Yeah, huge for them. You know, you come across to England and the UK for a tour like this. Played France as well, haven't they? So it's so invaluable. You take all the opportunities that you're given. They brought a big squad, so to give everybody a run. Van Rensburg not in the squad today, but she was brilliant last week actually.
Yeah, Libby Van Rensburg, she's actually picked up an injury, but you've got a breakaway here by Rona Lloyd. The Scotswoman still going, she wants it herself! Lloyd over the line! The Border women, who's also a sensation on the 7th circuit, dots down, and that is 4 tries for the Barbars women. Stunning stuff.
Well, several players outside to pass to, so they'll be saying it's a good job you did go on, but look, when she saw space, and you can see the 7's talent there, backs herself. Simply too good.
She thought about it, didn't she? But when you've got pace like Rona Lloyd to burn, you have to back yourself. She's got the ball transfer, she's having a look, decides she can do it all herself. Fantastic score from her. First phase as well, love to see first phase tries.
Rona Lloyd, the only Scotswoman playing today. Oh, they're having a great time. I'll have what they're having. Oh, well, another one for Katie Daley-McLean as she looks up at the big screen. You can see the smile on her own face there as she runs back to the far side. A little bit of a dummy there we saw from Lloyd as well before she eventually touched down. Well, it's all been about the black and white hoops so far this afternoon at Twickenham. They only came together as a squad, of course, on Monday. Just the 4 coaching sessions, a little bit of crazy golf mixed in, but so far they are rampant. Murphy just about managed to hold on to that one. Pete, 41 years old, still showing off her stuff. Not taken cleanly there by South Africa. Did they touch it is the question. They did touch it, so that's a little bit of a bonus for the Barbars.
Never touch.
I really like this second row pairing of Washington and Corson. Washington was, I thought she was exemplary in a big losing cause for the USA. And Corson is redolent of a lot of the French forwards, a very powerful pack, and that's just one demonstration of it.
Well, that South African lineup really not functioning as Hunter has to go down onto the floor.
Rolling. Leave it, leave it. 10.
I don't expect many penalty opportunities for the Barbars to even consider going for the post. It would just be whether they kick for the corner or do another special move that they thought up this week.
Katie Daley-McLean kind of was, I could see her gesticulating to Mo then, that I think they've obviously got something, maybe off a driven maul or something off a line out in the 22 that perhaps they want to pull out the bag of tricks today. So hopefully we'll see something here.
Russell, the 4th woman to get 50 caps for Canada, lands down. Here comes Griffin, pops off the ball back to the Canadian. Oh, was that drop forward? Still going forward then, this time Rogers, the American woman. Nice steal there by Carway. Levy. Levy still going. She scored one. Would have been quite a way to travel to go on for her second. Hunt, Daley-McLean, Washington, Caplice. Hunt again. Neopu.
In the tackle, scrum advantage. Yeah, you're fine. Come back, scrum advantage.
Oh, they get to come back, and it will be a Barbar scrum for them.
Scrum advantage in the tackle.
Well, this was the wonderful steal there by Carway, who plays a rugby at Western Province. Nice poach.
It's a brilliant poach, especially off somebody of the calibre of Hope Rogers. Brian spoke about Alicia Washington and how good she was in that USA v England game. Well, Hope Rogers, I reckon, was up there for one of the players of the matches in a very, very tough game. So, yeah, great steal from her.
Bind! Set!
Oh, what a great snipe there by Tosay.
Oh, good, oh, good.
Catching Natasha Hunt at the back there. We said she was a real spark. She's 21 years old, and she was part of that Border ladies side that recently won the Women's Premier Division down in South Africa. It's Caplice she caught.
Great timing, isn't it? Great timing. You could see eyes focused. As soon as Caplice went to pick that ball up, she was straight on her. Really, really good turnover in a great position as well. That looked threatening for the Barbars there.
Crouch! Please. Bind! Set!
Of course, for Tosei, this is her first start this tour. Really good stuff. Looking for the shoulders, trying not to go completely straight. Jordan. Wonderful defense by Naopu. Gathered there by Noyanto. A lot of hard work done there by Seni Naopu, but the penalty given away.
If you're going to get a ball that's a hospital pass, you don't want one above your head because it exposes all your ribs. At least give it in front of you so you get clattered when you can curl up, and not have to extend your body and feel every single rib being clattered.
And you don't want to look up and see Seni Naopu, the person who's about to line you up. She's a fierce, fierce defender. She'll come and hit through you all day long. Fantastic shot from her.
Well, there's been a few problems for South Africa at this line-out so far today. That is a better effort from them. Nice little slid ball. Tosei gets it back to Jordan. They go to Sillers. Waiting out there is Matia Toga. Runs straight there into Mabengwe. Hunt. Rogers manages to find Paquin. Naopu again. She's got Washington there, who's running out of pitch out on that far side. South African captain there, Boyd. She knew that.
Backwards.
Murphy there. She just tried to get that last tip away. Couldn't quite. Pete has it.
Goes out.
Katie Daley-McLean, she knew that she could find a bit of space down the field, and she does. Chasing on it is Matia Toga as well. She's closing in on Webb. Not the best clearance for Webb. Hunt can't take it either. Oh, she knows it. We don't need to say any more than that. Comedy of errors.
Big smile on her face there, isn't there? Yeah, not the best kick that Eloise Webb will have ever done in terms of clearing it, and then Natasha just bouncing a rugby ball. She gambles, lifts, see her eyes just pick up.
Just takes her eyes off it, doesn't she? Just the last minute to see where she's going before she's got control.
Straight, ladies.
There you go. She's putting her arm up. She's looked up at the big screen and knows.
The big screen, honestly. Ever the professional.
Look at that bench there for the Barbars waiting to come on. Plenty of caps there. A few fresh faces as well. Uncapped players given their opportunity. We should say it is very cold here at Twickenham. I think there is some cold fingers out there. Well, South Africa feeling the heat here. Far too close to their own line. Here comes the Barbars advantage. Out, and it's going to be over once again for Levy. She's got a double. And the Barbars party continues at Twickenham.
Making them pay for this station. South Africa got to learn this. It's a very old rugby cliche, but it remains true. When you're in trouble, don't shovel bad ball backwards. It never gets any better. And it goes from bad to worse when you start with a bad scrum, and then a ball goes back, and 2 or 3 times, and all of a sudden you find yourself under the post like that with ball that's turned over, and a try ensues.
It's really simply executed in the end by the Barbarians, isn't it? I think Mabenga, you can see her flapping her arms on this right-hand side of the screen there. She knows she's short, she knows she's in trouble. But it's just really simple skills in the end. I think South Africa are just struggling a little bit, aren't they, with their basics? It's just some of that handling stuff that isn't sticking, means they've got to go backwards to recover the ball. So, you know, I'm sure that's something they'll be talking about under the post now, just to keep it simple and look after those basic skills.
Well, South Africa, they have picked up quite a few injuries on this tour so far, so perhaps not their strongest 15 that they're playing out there today. But you have to say, they are coming up against a Barbars side that is just stacked full of star-studded international talent. None less than the women you can see on your screen right now. Just slightly shanked that one off to the right-hand side of the post. Emily Scarrick, you have done and you do a lot of kicking in your time. If there's some younger boys or girls watching that, what's your best advice when you're lining up at sticks?
Stick to the process. It's such a boring answer. Nobody likes that answer, but you've got to stick to the process. Follow through, follow along the line. It's all about your body weight shift, and yeah, Katie knows all about that. Is very good at it.
Well, the crowd are just working their way up towards a bit of a Mexican wave, because they are having a fun time here at Twickenham this afternoon. Here comes Levy. Gathered by Capeless. No one there. Jacobs is, though. And they'll come back for the scrum. Worth mentioning, of course, that South Africa, when they go to the World Cup, they are in a group with England, Fiji and France when they head over there. But there's some big changes coming on here for South Africa very early on. They've got Gwala and Charlie coming on, also Kortereitra. Big decisions for them early on.
Well, they are big decisions, but to be fair to the South African management, they've seen the South African scrum struggle time after time, and they are determined to try and do something about that. Whether they can remains to be seen, but at least they've been proactive about it.
No, too much. No, stay on your feet. Stay on your feet. On your feet, ladies.
Well, the two front row players they have brought on, they are a little bit more experienced than the women they've brought up. Gwala has got 12 South African caps. Charlie only on her third. Now we understand there's around 26,000 fans who've actually come through the turnstiles. Of course, they were expecting to be watching first up the men's Barbarians match against Samoa. The referee's going to bring this back. Namba thinks she's going to have scored, but unfortunately the referee has blown a whistle for a knock-on, and they'll have to come back for a scrum. Well, as I was saying there, 26,000 expecting to watch the men's Barbars match, and if you've tuned in on BBC One and that's what you're expecting, unfortunately 4 of the men's Barbars players and 2 members of staff did test positive for COVID, so they brought forward the women's Barbars match that we're enjoying now.
It's unlucky, isn't it, from Namba? She gets really high in that defensive line, puts loads of pressure on. It's one of those where either she scores or Levy scores, because she was also through a fantastic hole. Great matchups there.
Well, that certainly is a better scrum effort from the South Africans following those changes. Maya Tatoga there, just juggling the ball. And those changes seem to be making a very slight impact already.
Well, second scrum in which South Africa have gone forward. And bearing in mind the previous 5 they've been in retreat. Yes, the changes have worked, so credit to the South African management for changing.
More space, more space. Keep the gap, thank you.
Well, the pressure really on the Barbarians from this position. Really nice place for a South African scrum.
Crouch! Bind!
Not to be. Free kick taken then by Hunt. Neopu. Maita Toga. Big hit coming in there by Mabenge.
Thank you.
Here comes Corson. Lloyd. Wonderful handoffs. Unable to take that one. Sucked up by the South Africans. Tose wants to get rid of it, wants a little bit more territory. Not to be for Levy. Well, one of the South African players was having a little bit of treatment on the field. I think it was this huge hit that came in by Mabenge.
Well, they were looking at that as a potential foul play incident, but nothing in it.
Mabenge, who plays rugby for Eastern Province Queens, made a debut in 2019 against Scotland.
Stable, ladies. Don't move.
They're very active out there.
Don't move. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. I just want to know what happened to that. Does it have to do that again?
Nothing to do. So there was too much movement. I decided the previous scrum stay before the throw-in. Yep. Thank you. Let's go.
So that was Cindy Boy just talking to our referee, checking what the free kick was for last time. Clara Minnery unhappy with the movement from South Africa before the ball was placed in.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Stop.
Gathered at the base there by Silonsi.
Play on.
Stolen by Capeless. Hunt.
Tackle, release.
Rogers places it back then for Hunt. Some difficult passes occasionally that both sides are passing to their fellow teammates. Everyone having to really work for their ball.
Roll.
Penalty advantage, Barbarians.
Roll 12. Roll 12.
Hunt's thinking about it. She's thinking. I didn't think she was going to get away with that one, and she did not.
She'll be fuming. She'll be so annoyed at herself. A lot of these penalties that be given away, you can see they're trapped under so many bodies. She's trying to dig it out. She's trying to find the ball as quickly as possible. And again, just picks her head up, I think, doesn't she? She's got such good intent about her, wants to play quickly, consistently and constantly throughout the game.
And of course, there's a lot of pressure on these women here. They weren't expecting to be playing today at 2:30. They were expecting this match to be at 5:15. They've only had a few hours preparation that they had to really get themselves ready.
Half the South African team didn't get here until half an hour before the kickoff because they couldn't get here with the rest of their teammates. They came in taxis.
Yeah, there was a bit of a scramble for the Barbarians favorites, and here comes Hunt. She's stolen it. She wants it. Little bit of a sidestep and a finish. The Barbars captain goes over.
There's
She really has been leading.
Yeah, she really has. There's the smile we want to see from her. Unfortunate, she'll have wanted to have made up for that quick tap mistake that she made. Just gets herself in that passing lane. Really, really smart play from her. It's what experienced, clever nines do. They get themselves where they think the ball's going to go. And she's got a fair bit of toe in order to finish it off as well. Fantastic from her.
When you're talking about what's coming, both these teams have managed to stay within their relative bubbles and given us a game as well.
It's worth mentioning that Natasha Hunt's club side lost to Hartbury taking on Saracens at the moment. She's been given special permission to be here. And so far, with that scoreline, it's looking like a pretty good afternoon. This will be the last thing that we see of this first half. effort has been. If you're a fan of those white and black hoops, there have been 6 tries. 6 tries of fun. South Africa have got a big 40 minutes ahead of them, but those changes that they brought on do seem to have made a little bit of a difference. The halftime score then at Twickenham. It is the Barbarians 38, South Africa 0.
half-time replacement for South Africa coming off number 8,
Right then, another 40 to go. South Africa have made more changes as they will try and make a dent on that scoreline after they really have been overpowered in that first 40 by the Barbars. That's off a foot. Hunt passes off the ball. Griffin fancies a run. Back down the Barbars line. Neopu.
But it's out.
Washington. An integral part of the USA side right now. On the end of a bit of a thumping against England last week at Worcester. Running take there by Dunker. Made her debut back in 2018 against Wales for South Africa. Now it's Charlie. Long pass there by Jordan, manages to find Carway. Loose ball. In the end, a little bit of work for Webb. Tose again. Manages to go to Latcha. Bit of a spin there from Charlie again.
Tackle! Thank you.
They're holding on to the ball for longer periods here, South Africa. Slight juggle though, as I curse them. Rogers. Hunt finds Pete. Daley-McLean.
Play on, play on.
Little bit of chaos out there. No one owning their possession for the time being. Jordan. Once again, it's Carway. Nice hack on, big hit going on there afterwards. Popped off ball, mistake there by the Barbars. Here's the opportunity, it's the replacement who comes on. They're still chasing the ball. The woman that was there was Umkat Shulwa, but couldn't finish.
It's a brilliant break by Carway in the first place. Just that delayed pass from Jordan on the shoulder. She's hiding in behind. Brilliant break from her. Support not quite with her, so she decides to put boot to ball. Massive shot after the tackle, after the kick as well.
That's really immediately better from South Africa this half. They've got defined runners taking the ball over the gain line. In the first half, it was very much making it up and see where we go. This time round, you've seen several pods, you've seen 2 or 3 players mandated to take the ball over the gain line. That course gives them focus so they can get back round and then replay.
South Africa with a scrum. They struggled in the first half, but they made a few changes to their front row. If you missed it, it seems to have made quite a difference.
Bind! Set!
Tose needs to get that one out. The Barbars are coming and they get the penalty. Hunt is off. Electric from the number 9. Griffin. Capeless. Hunt manages to find Paquin. Corson. Rogers, bouncing ball. This is backwards from the Barbars. South Africa are coming. Murphy, was that a little knock on the floor?
On the ground.
Warning there to the Barbars. Big opportunity for the South Africans.
Tell you what, these South Africans don't half hit hard, do they? I think Dylan picked it up at half-time, but Carway again there. Just a massive shot as Jenny Murphy's trying to retrieve the bobbling ball, just dislodges it and gives them the opportunity to turn the ball over. And look, the crowd aren't happy about the decision to take the 3 points, but for this South African side, not seeing a 0 next to their name is incredibly important.
There, yep.
Well, here we see with the Barbarians suffering a little bit in the way that South Africa did. As soon as the ball goes wrong, as soon as you got the first person, kill it, stand up, and let everyone regroup round you. If you try to pass it backwards, it never gets better.
Zene Jordan, then 30 years old, vice-captain for South Africa this afternoon. Her first chance to get some points on the board for the Springboks. It's come off the posts. Hunt will clear, and South Africa are held at 0. Dunker with the mistake as well, and just total frustration for the visitors.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Zene Jordan is probably the most experienced player on this South African squad. And then I don't know if we can see that or not, but that is a textbook spiral, old-school kick out of the 22 there from Natasha Hunt. Fantastic clearance kick from her.
Well, somehow the Barbars have survived that. Well, this scrum is tit for tat each time, but Barbars come away with it. McLean with that right boot. Wonderful take by Mabenge. Webb is there.
Tackle! Release, release, tackle!
One of the more experienced players for South Africa in that back line. Still only a handful of caps. Bowie.
Stay on! Take it back!
Well, that's come out on the near side, but oh, Barbars have taken it. They could have brought that one back because South Africa had taken it back into their 22. Footwork from Lloyd means she still travels. Someone's got to tackle her. Out to the far side. They've got numbers there, the Barbars. Naopu passes out to Matia Toga. Once again, it's Carway with the tackle. Corson.
Stay on.
Hunt. Daley-McLean with a nice little up and over. South Africa will have to touch down.
Scrum 5. Kicking back.
Well, referee says that's been taken back by South Africa. And so the Barbars get the scrum.
Well, it was taken back, but he was well covered.
Wasn't really much of a choice that South Africa could do in that position. Of course, if it had been the Barbars that had taken it over that line, it would have been a goal line dropout.
Come on, ladies! Crouch! Bind! Set!
Still no points in this second half. Is this the moment?
Advantage!
Play the ball, advantage call. Daley-McLean with the crossfield special. Waiting underneath it is Levy, she can't take.
No advantage. Collapse.
You could see it just as that scrum was packing down. Katie Daley-McLean was waving at Levy to get herself out into that 5-metre channel.
No, the referee wants it brought back.
Let me sign the mark.
I don't know if she's managed to hurt herself there, Hope Rogers, in the process there. Ice immediately applied to the hip. I don't know how much ice you'd want on a day like this, Brian.
Let me sign the mark, please. I know.
It's a lot different when you're playing the front row, let me tell you. You're never cold.
Ice, of course, being provided by Joe McGilchrist, World Cup winner with England. Amazing to see that kind of that circle of life, if you like, with the Barbarians. You know, she was a phenomenal player, qualified physio, able to come back in a different capacity and support the girls.
Are you okay? Yep.
Hope Rogers, an incredibly talented player. She's wearing 3 today. She was playing at Loosehead last week for the USA. Did a bit of track and field in high school, bit of shot and discus. Now rugby is certainly her sport. Ontario's Laura Russell. Her sister Kelly Russell, another 50 capper for Canada. Has previously played for the Barbarians. It's now her younger sister's turn. We haven't seen a rolling more like this. That looks good. That looks down and over. And the Barbars get the first score of the second half. And it looks like it is Lindsay Peat of Ireland. Her club side Railway Union, represented by her socks, of course, goes over.
Well, Russell doing her job. Hit the jumper at the height of the take. The important thing for the Barbarians, get it set first. Get the players in position before you go forward, before you start to take momentum, and then everything else follows. South Africans just cannot get arms in there.
I think Lindsay Peat as well is lining up for this conversion.
I think it might be because this might be the last time we see Lindsay Peat on international duty. And that'll be why she is a prop and not a kicker. I mean, this is proper Barbar stuff. I think it's anyone who puts up the hand now. You can do whatever you like. Jo Yap with a smile on her face there. What an afternoon for Jo Yap, the Barbars head coach. The former England captain herself. She's currently in charge of the Worcester Warriors women, as we see coming off the field of play there. Lindsay Peat. What an innings. Also coming off there, Washington and Murphy. Some pretty special names have just come on though for the Barbarians. You get to see Rocky Clark, the most capped England player of all time, male or female, onto the field. Also Sonia Green, a bit of a legend of the club game in England. Made over 300 appearances now for Saracens. The ball goes out round to the far side. See, Morgan Perrone is also on. Laura Russell there, just getting ready, and Rocky Clark, she said she's happy to keep playing. She now plays her rugby at Saracens, so she'll keep playing as long as her body allows, and she still enjoys it. She's not the oldest in this squad, though. That honour does go to Lindsay Peat. Rocky Clark celebrated her 40th birthday by playing in the Premier 15s final the day after earlier this year. Saracens losing on that day to Harlequins women. Here come the Barbars again. Levy. And Hunt is gone. Clark. Advantage as well now. It's not quick ball. Hunt doesn't want it if it's not fast. Off again. You'd think South Africa might be a little bit alive to Hunt by now. On the far side, it's going to be taken by Griffin. Oh! All the tricks coming out now.
Play advantage.
Paquin.
Still advantage.
Capeless is there. Still Capeless. Clark.
Back.
Round the corner. Griffin wants it. Oh, she can see the line. She knows it's there. Well, they're bundled over, but if it's held up, it'll be South Africa ball.
No advantage. Come back. Come back.
But they're playing advantage.
On the line. On the line. On the line.
Hunt is there. Sniffing an opportunity.
Go.
Well, Barbars are essentially playing at the moment with just 14 women because they've got someone down on the near side by the technical area at the moment. It is Hope Rogers. She did take that big hit with her hip, and coming onto the field now is Bristol Simi Pam. She's a real taliswoman, we have to say, across women's rugby. Not capped yet by England, but has spoken about her ambitions to head in that direction. She's also a qualified doctor, has been heavily involved on the front line throughout the pandemic, having only just qualified. She was brought in very fast, and she's a wonderful character for the game.
Yeah, she is, and a fantastic player as well. I think she's got a few highlights reels on YouTube that people can go and check out, because she certainly doesn't take many backward steps. But can we just talk about that Cara Griffin chip and chase? It was sensational. I think she's also ending her rugby career today, so you know, she obviously doesn't want to leave this field and leave this opportunity with any regrets, and she can now add a successful chip and chase to her list.
Collected at the base by the South Africans. What a great handoff there. They're still moving. Speed bump tackle coming in by Mattia Toga. This time taken forward by Jacobs. South Africa have done well to get out of that real danger zone. No scrum half at the moment. Sholwa has to go in and play. Slightly shank ball there to try and clear, but offside.
Offside. 16 offside.
She's going.
There she goes. Well, that's going to be a big dent to South Africa. It's not just the fact it's a yellow card, it's the player it's been given to as well. Carway has really been instrumental for them. And here we go. Another Barbar special. There we go. Not quite sure what they're trying to achieve, but we're enjoying it as Nova gives out to the near side. It's going to be Levy over once again. That's a hat-trick for the American. Happy faces in southwest London, enjoying everything that the Barbars have to offer.
Look, the wall, the roll, the NFL style really did nothing to the defence, did it? But seeing as they scored off it, it means we'll be seeing it on all the highlights reels. Just a bit of fanfare there, out the back. Then just really simple hands. They've identified there's a shortage of South African defenders on that open side. Just good skills. Love to see it. Crisp hands along that back line, sending Napu, fantastic hands, and Levy, is that a hat-trick?
Yes, I think good hands, but also a good line by Katie Daley-McLean, making sure she stayed straight, keeping all the South African inside defenders honest, not able to drift off her.
Good afternoon so far for Sarah Levy, as Katie Daley-McLean has the opportunity to line up the half-century. Not yet. We did notice at half-time that quite a few of the families of the Barbars women who play here in the UK did start arriving here. Of course, they were expecting them to play at 5:15, so they missed this on the first occasion in the first half, the NFL moves. I'd love to know where all the inspirations have come from this week. Do you think all the USA players have been teaching them these?
I'm sure they have. I just can't believe that Rocky Clark hasn't pulled rank with 130-something international caps, and she was the one rolling around on the floor.
We say, of course, that Rocky Clark has 137 caps. The current England captain, Sarah Hunter, now up to 130. As the Barbars just knock on the ball there, you'd think that Sarah Hunter over the next year could well overtake her if she remains uninjured. And the build-up towards that World Cup. There you go, 2014 World Cup winner Rocky Clark there in the middle of your screen with the blue scrum cap on.
3, 9 and 10.
Replacements for South Africa.
More changes then for the South Africans. Big mention also coming on there, number 21, Ramandi Potarita. First time she gets to come on this tour. Plays for the Delta Drone Tucks. Remember, there are just 14 women out there at the moment, the South Africans. Namba.
No heads. Yep, fine, thanks.
Good support flying in there by Latcher. Webb having to play scrum half. First touch of the ball there by Snyders, but Simi Pam just pushing the South Africans back there in the tackle. Snyders again. Busy since she's come on.
Use it. Yep.
Oh, that was a tricky one to take for Jacobs, and they're just losing ground here, the South Africans. It would be wonderful for them if they could make some kind of dent on that scoreboard. Wonderful contest the Barbars are making of every ruck here, just not giving the South Africans any quick ball at all. Look at that by Griffin. Somehow the South Africans hold on, stolen by Naopu.
Bench is over.
Hunt sends it up, nice bounce of the ball, but the woman underneath it is none other than Charlie.
What's quite apparent is the pleasure that the Barbarians are getting from their experience with each other, playing with players that they wouldn't ordinarily get the opportunity to do so, the style of rugby that they're able to play. And you can see both of them, all the players are coming on and off, really enjoying the experience.
There's a couple of changes here, but the television match official has been called in. So there's just going to be a pause here as the referee, Clara Munnery, speaks to Stefano Penne. Well, it's Linda Loka Gwala going up against Kira Griffin. They might be looking at her arm in that contact.
Well, they're looking at an elbow connection to the face. To be honest,
I will show you another angle.
She had so little time before she was under pressure. I'm not very sure.
Okay.
Not something and nothing for me.
Let me see what I'm seeing.
It's one of those things also when it's slowed down, it
is the best one, I think.
Can show quite a different picture.
Elbow on the neck, low degree of danger, no force. I think it's just a penalty against 16 wide.
Well, at the moment it sounds like a penalty.
Are you considering the elbow directly to the neck with the low force?
Yeah, for me it's low force. So I think it's just a penalty against 16 wide.
Okay.
Thank you. Penalty, yeah.
Well, it's just a penalty against Linda Loka Gwala. You could see Cindy Bowie there, just looking after her player.
Captain, 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 sorry, captain, captain, sorry. It's just a penalty, elbow on the neck, you're 16, number 16. Just a penalty.
There's a big focus at the moment in South Africa on Cindy Bowie. She's 36 years old now, hoping that she'll keep going to the World Cup. A real leader for them, as we get to see first time on the ball there for Morgan Perronnette. Big hand there going in from Courson. Hunt thinks there's space there, almost ran into her own player. Play continues for Pakwan. Still Courson. South Africans trying to hold up the ball there. Courson does wrestle that to the floor. Clark. Well, there's Daley-McLean to Pam. Popped off ball, Russell. Round the corner, is there a doctor in the house? Yes, everything.
Well, South Africa have suffered from the fact that individually up front they're just not as good or as powerful as their counterparts for the Barbarians, and now the Barbarians are starting to get some familiarity. The result is obviously aggregate is much more, and they are playing with much more fluency. They're playing with purpose.
With a little help from your friend, wasn't it, Sonia Green? So good at that, just the leg drive. But such an amazing occasion for somebody like Simi Pam. Obviously, she's not capped. She won't have been on a stage like this before. She's been very kind of vocal on her social media about how much this week has meant to her. She shed a few tears, I think, when she received her shirt last night or the night before. So, fantastic occasions for players like this.
Daley-McLean then with the extras. Worth mentioning one of the socks that Simi Pam is wearing today. Of course, the Barbars can choose their socks. It's normally just club socks, but actually she's chosen to wear one sock from the Black Girls Ruck podcast. Such what it means to her to be representing and showing black women what can be achieved in rugby union. Webb with the restart then for South Africa. Bit of a bobble ball there by Bombardier, Beth and Dayton on the field. Welshwoman who plays for the British Army.
There, ladies. Thank you.
I think she knew what was running towards her. Good scrum by the South Africans. That's what it's about. Webb there, nice little dummy from her. She manages to find the force that is Namba. She was well marshalled.
It's a great shame we haven't seen more of Namba with the ball in her hands. She's obviously a very powerful runner, capable of doing damage. Unfortunately, she just hasn't been able to, well, she's not been supplied with anything.
Namba only made her debut against Wales 2 weeks ago. Still very fresh to international rugby. 29,000 packed into Twickenham to watch this one. Sportarita. Has to be Bowie, has to go in and play scrum half. And catch Charlotte.
What's out? What's out?
Sportarita again, manages to find Snyders. Sportarita again. Good run there by Charlie.
Yes, it's over.
Again, good runs there by Mazi Bukwana. Snyders again. She's taken on a lot of ball. Jacobs now. They're securing the ball nicely here, South Africa. One of the best passages of play we've seen throughout the whole match. They're just not quite getting over that gain line. Don't forget, they've only got 14 women out there. That's Simbin nearly up.
He's out. Thank you.
Makua. Sportarita again. Snyders, who's been very influential. And Benge, in the end, they can't quite hold on to it.
Just unable really to make any kind of prominent indent, weren't they? They were moving the ball well, just weren't able to really get through this Barbars defence. And you've got to remember there's some phenomenal international players littered across this Barbarian side, so it's never going to be an easy task.
Okay, coming onto the field then. We can see that Isabel Rico Vaquez is coming on. Also coming onto the field is Sammy Wong. Natasha Hunt, been a busy afternoon for her. It's been a busy week. And you can tell by that smile on her face, she's loved every single second of it. Emily Scarrett, we have to say, she's one of your best mates. She's loved this.
Yeah, she really has. All week as well, I've been getting text messages and voice notes. She's absolutely loved it. And the opportunity as well to captain this side has meant an awful lot to her.
Perrone getting involved as soon as she can.
More white! Right.
Wong. Pam. Worth mentioning, Sammy Wong plays her rugby at Wasps, another uncapped player, a New Zealander. Naopu. Turns out, you just saw Mason there with that pass of the ball. Or did they just keep that in? No. You can see on the near side, our touch judge is Sarah Cox of England. She was the first woman to referee a men's Premiership match earlier this season. No doubt many more to come. Confirmation that Kira Griffin is the captain for the Barbars now. Ah, tequila, how much of that have they had this week?
Not as much as the men, by all accounts.
No comment.
Let's go, ladies. That's all done.
Right then, they are ready to get back underway then with the scrum. Well, there you go. They know every time they're on the screen now. This is the 5th time the women's Barbarians have played. They first stepped out against Munster back in November 2017 with a 19-0 win. They've also beaten the British Army, had a very tight match against the USA. The only time they lost was here at Twickenham against England back in June 2019. It looks like they're in for another strong win.
No advantage. Come back.
You can just see the lack of maybe match preparation or familiarity with South Africa. They're waiting for the deep ball for the winger there to try and hit the edge. When it came, she was just slightly late, which meant the ball wasn't on. They had to take the ball into contact where they didn't want to, and everything fell apart.
Yeah, they've definitely got lots of things that they can look at, this South African side, obviously building towards that World Cup. What I would say from what I've seen today is they've got some phenomenal talent and a lot of raw potential. And I think that's really exciting for a side that are very, very new. They have a low number of caps. They've not played much together. And I think they've got an exciting 10, 11 months ahead of them.
Well, you might have seen some perhaps slightly frustrated faces there from the South Africa coaches. As we say, they are still building at the moment. They brought in Lynn Cantwell, Ireland's most capped player, to come in as their women's high performance manager. She's not long been in the role, but she is contracted until 2024. And you do feel that things are starting to change. Griffin.
She's over.
South Africa want to go. Not happy to hang around. Dunker. Passed off ball this time by Umka. Schwala manages to find Gwala. For South Africa now back up to 15 players. They've had plenty of possession, just not quite been able to finish anything off. Think about the big pass, not on this occasion there from Snyders. The appeal's just going to the referee there.
What is available?
For Trita. And Kat Schwala, she has been everywhere coming off the bench. She plays for Western Province.
Play advantage,
Okay, here's a free shot then for the South Africans. Can they make it count? Malinga. Still Malinga. Is there space down there? Can South Africa go over? Oh, Malinga, the whole of Twickenham wanted that for you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, yeah.
They're going to go and have a look.
Eric?
Yes, Clara.
Okay. Substitution is touchline.
Okay.
Please check if they will do the grounding before.
On-field decision, no try.
No try on field decision, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
She didn't have the face of someone on the ground that looked like she'd just scored a wonder try at Twickenham, did she? So I'm not sure we'll see much conclusive evidence to overturn that here, but fantastic feat and fantastic effort from her to get around that outside.
No, unfortunately not. What she needs to do there is when she sees the defender coming across, take a step into her, so that when the contact comes, she's got momentum that's sending her infield,
The 17 black
rather than just accepting the hit.
It was Katie Mason who flew across there with that try-saving tackle. A warning there for the Barbars for that high tackle. And South Africa are going to dot this one over to the corner to try and see if they can do something from a line-out.
Probably the best spell, one of the best spells they've had, isn't it, in terms of possession. Dumke's been very good. She had a double play earlier, got on her feet, turned the ball over, quick tap.
Oh, taken on the fingertips there by Charlie. No one wants to be nilled. Twickenham want them to try and push this for everything. It's well stopped by the Barbars.
What is there? Leave it. Yes.
Snyders. Good ball in the end to Carway. Trying to make up for that yellow card. Snyders again. Manages to find Malinga.
Ball is out. Ball is out.
You have to credit this Barbars defence, don't you? Namba. Snyder's just finding heavy traffic wherever that she goes. Mabenge does well there while she's being tackled to get the extra meters. The opportunity flying through there was Jacobs. Portrita comes back. They've got space out there, but the Barbars just arrive in floods.
Use it.
Portrita doesn't know which way to go. Can't quite take the ball. Such frustration after a wonderful passage of play by South Africa.
Such a shame. Such a shame. They just weren't able to take a deep breath, keep some composure, patience. Trying to throw the worldie to the edge. Yeah, really frustrating from a South Africa point of view, but they're the crucial lessons that they'll learn as they continue to develop as this side.
One of the impressive things about the Barbarians this afternoon is their commitment to the physical contact areas, because one of the things you usually question with the Barbarian side is how much they're really up for it.
Thank you.
Well, you couldn't see Jo Yatley, but alongside her was Rachel Taylor, former Wales captain. They've teamed up before for the Barbars, and Rachel Taylor currently one of the coaches up at Sale Sharks Women. Eventually that does come away to Katie Daley-McLean. Still in the field of play. Webb thinks about support. Decides to take on the hit herself. Snyders. Here comes Makua. Oh, wonderful take in the end by Malinga. She's still going! Incredible effort by Malinga!
Yes!
What a try by that woman! Ayanda Malinga of the Blue Bulls refused to be stopped. And finally, South Africa get that try, and they deserve it.
Well, what a great solo effort. refused to go down, refused to take the tackle.
It's great play, isn't it? Somebody just fighting through, offload, and then she just backs herself. She gives herself an opportunity, and that's what I was talking about earlier. This South African side has got potential because it's got players like that with phenomenal athletic ability who will just put their head down and keep going. So it's a brilliant finish. She didn't quite get the one a couple of minutes ago, did she? But she wasn't going to be denied a second time.
You've seen the individual efforts and the athleticism and dexterity of some of the South African players. What's let them down this afternoon is simply organisation, familiarity, not being able to get enough quick ball to give those sort of runners the chances that they obviously thrive on.
World-class stuff then by Malinga. Closing in on the end of the match.
One is coming.
That also means we're closing in on the end of a couple of rugby careers. Still on the field for the Barbarians, of course, Katie Daley-McLean and Kira Griffin. Dunker took it in, and Snyders gets it back, moving again to Gwala. Sharks woman.
Use it.
Webb, who's standing in that first receiver position, who feeds to Jacobs. Katha Jacobs is meant to be staying in the UK to try and get a bit of a playing time with London Irish. It's not quite been signed off yet, but she's hoping to stay for around 4 months. Play a rugby in the Premier 15s. And if you do like your Premier 15s rugby, don't forget that tomorrow you can watch Bristol Bears women taking on Wasps on the BBC iPlayer. That one gets underway at 2:30.
No con from White. Next scrum. Thank you.
Well, they're just going to line up a scrum.
Just like to give a word for Katie Daley-McLean. If it is the last time we will ever see her in anger on a pitch, what a fantastic servant and player she has been to the game.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Stay!
Comes back. Running round the corner comes Wong. Wong is still there and calling for it. Corson. Oh, you feel the Barbars have got something here. Neopu. Here comes Lloyd. Just those last connections, just not coming off at the moment. They'll come back for the penalty, though.
On the line, on the line. Roll.
Shout out to Lenny Corson as well. As a French forward, I think she's been exemplary in this game. A huge amount of work, probably not appreciated by most people, but she's been the heart of a lot of things that the Barbarians have done well.
Hackwing still going, the Canadian. She just couldn't get that last pass away. Griffin is there. Griffin for the line. Still a metre short. You can see Rico Varquez there of Spain just waiting. It was Clark who took on the ball in the end. They don't want that held up. Wong, not to be given the ball this time. They're flying over. The try is scored, and it is Kira Griffin. None less than that woman deserves. She has been through so much emotion, leading Ireland, particularly after they failed to qualify for the World Cup at the start of this autumn. She led them to victory last week against Japan. She helped lift them up really by their bootstraps whilst they were facing down the barrel of a defeat. A hugely emotional interview from her at the end of the game, thanking everyone in her family, and wonderful to see a smile on her face today.
Yeah, it's an unbelievably fitting end to what has been a fabulous career for her. Like you say, they've had some really tough times, that Ireland side, certainly in recent years. I think she's going to take the conversion as well. I don't know why she's gone so far back. I'd have gone 10 metres further forward, but potentially, you know, she's always held herself in the highest regard amongst other players that she's played against. Oh, just pushed it. But a fantastic end to her career. Still very young, actually, so she could still play for a few more, but yeah, well done to her.
Right then, we've still got a time for a kick-off, but also time to get your player of the match, Emily Scarrett.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick.
Well, I think it had to be, didn't it? It was written today. Numerous players have really put their hand up. Natasha Hunt's been very good, but that lady on your screen, Katie Daley-McLean, she scored early doors, she's kicked very well, she's been integral in lots of the tries that this Barbarian side have scored. 116 international caps for this wonderful lady, and this is her final game, so I think it's only fitting that Katie Daley-McLean is our player of the match.
She bought a Barbars shirt when she was 11 years old, at a time where women didn't play Barbarians rugby. She went on to a stellar career with England, leading them to the World Cup, of course, in 2014. And she said, nothing will top today. It is one last time. And she's managed to get player in the match.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Have the Barbars got something special here, or will they get it out? Ball goes to Wong. They want to play. Of course they want to play. They're the Barbarians. The flag goes up.
And that's all.
Right, that is it. It's been a party from start to finish, but a black and white day at Twickenham. The final score, the Barbarians 60, South Africa 5.
So big thank you to your support this afternoon. 29,581 we believe to be a world record for a women's match. Check it out as we're going to have the trophy presentation.